Good boy. So what I'm gonna start with is just to teach him to pay a little bit of attention to me. Is I'm gonna start with some treats. So I'm just gonna call him. I'll give him a treat. I'll do that a couple times just so he gets the point of paying attention to me. Come here, Dud. Good boy, good boy. Now what I gotta remember to do is I need to remember that if I'm gonna mark when he starts to come to me for right now, because if he doesn't have a recall already, then I need to make sure that I'm not waiting for him to come 20 feet to me before I tell him he's doing a good job. So I wanna use like a good or a yes or something, and you can use whatever you want, but I gotta have some kind of word to mark when he's doing the right thing. So all I'm doing is, when he's not paying attention, I'll let him do this. I'll stop the leash. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. And we'll just do that a few times. I don't have to let him get 20 feet away or anything. I let him get a few feet. Dudley, come. Good boy. Dudley, come. Good. You see how quick he is to go back to sniffing? Good boy. Dud. Yes. Here we go. Dudley. Yes. So I'm doing two things here. Positively reinforcing with the treats, just for right now, because it makes it a lot easier for him to understand if we have something that's a little more high value to start with. You can eventually wean it off and get to the point where it's just you petting him and stuff, but for right now I'm going to use treats just so he's real clear on what I want. But I'm also using a little bit of leash pressure to get him to start coming to me. So I'll call his name, and then I'll use C-O-M-E to get him to start coming toward me. And right when I say C-O-M-E, I'm gonna start bumping the leash a little bit to show him where I want. And as soon as he starts coming to me, tell him he's a good boy, get ready, then I start digging for the treat. Dudley, come. Yes. Okay, now just to be clear for him, he's real quick. So he's real quick to start wanting to sniff again. So I need to have the treat in my hand to start with. I can't be digging for it, because if I give him a treat after he started sniffing, I'm at best, I'm doing nothing. At worst, I'm reinforcing him sniffing. So I want to call his name. I'll say C-O-M-E. I'll start to bump the leash. As soon as he starts coming toward me, yes, and then I'll present the treat. Dudley, come. Yes. Dudley, come. Yes. Now I'm gonna do it like 3-4 times, and then I'm gonna have him, he takes a few steps toward me before I tell him that he's doing a good job. Yes. So he chose it on his own, but that's cool. I'll give it to him for that too. Because like what we really want is the two things. We want him to be able to stay a little more engaged with us when he's on a leash. And then I also want a recall. So I'm working on a recall, but if he'll decide to come to me on his own, I'm gonna reward that too. Dudley, come. Yes. Dudley, come. Yes. There's something you can do too, if because these treats are a little bit big, and they're kind of, I just tried to break one up and it kind of goes into a powder. Dudley, come. Yes. So that time there was no pressure on the leash. It was just, he's actually listening to what I said. You can use something like some deli turkey or something and just make really, really small pieces. Or I could even take one of these and I can hold it in my fingers to where he can chew just the tiniest bit off of it or lick it a little bit. And then I don't actually give him the whole treat, and I could use this 3 or 4 times. Dudley, come. Yes. So like this, I'll let him chew it just a little bit, and then we're gonna go back to walking. Dudley, come. Yes. Dudley, come. All right, so since he didn't get that one really well, I'm not gonna fight him over it. I'm gonna let him get at whatever sniffing it is that he wanted, and then we'll do it again. Instead of making it a confrontation. Yes. And just because he chose to look at me, I'm gonna go ahead and give him that one too. Dudley, come. Yes. All right, so now that was the end of that treat. So we did it, what, 4 or 5 times with just one treat? Dudley, come. Yes. The key is with the leash thing, a lot of people struggle with the part of when he starts coming, I gotta stop pulling on him. So we're doing 2 things there. The fact that I'm being a little annoying with the leash will stop, and then he can also come to get the treat. If I keep pulling him as he's coming toward me, he may start wanting to fight it. Dudley, come. Yes. Dudley, come. Yes. Dudley, come. Yes. Because what happens too when I start doing this, if we repeat it a bunch of times, he's also going to get to the point where he's thinking about when's he going to say something to me so he can get the treat too. So that can also start teaching him that he's going to pay a little more attention to me. Dudley, come. Yes. Good boy. Dudley. Yes. Dudley. Yes. So on those couple, I was literally just using his name. Yes. I want him also to understand that him just turning to look at me when I say his name is a good thing. It's over here. Dudley, come. Yes. Dudley, yes. So you see, like that time I switched it up. I did one where I'm teaching him C-O-M-E, then the other one I'm just going, just pay attention to your name. So I can change it up a little bit so he's also got to think about what he's doing. Dudley, yes. Yes. So now you see, like with that one, I started moving away from him and he went to follow me. So as soon as he goes to follow me, I can tell him he's doing a good job too. Sorry, I'm clumsy. Dudley, come. Yes. Yes. So you saw him kind of think about it a little bit, but it's fine. You just go until he gets it. He wasn't sniffing anything that time. That's why I kept going instead of just trying to restart. Yes. 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 Now this is why these things are nice. I wouldn't use this on a 100-pound lab that is just going to bolt after a bird or something. But for a guy like him, as long as you're careful about making sure you got a hold of it and stuff, this gives you the ability that I'm not having to deal with all this extra leash like having a long line on me. And I can also at any point, I can go, that's far enough. Dudley, come. Yes. Yes. Dudley, come. This is fine. We can work through it. Yes. Yes. So that's fine. He can be a little bit stubborn and go, I'm not sure if I want to do it. We just keep going until he gives us what we want. Doesn't have to be confrontational, just a little bit of like, I see you being stubborn, that's fine. Dudley. Yes. Like this. This is absolutely fine. He can be a little stubborn. Yes. So I was trying with that one. I did a little bit more. Yes. I did a little more because the bump in the leash wasn't working. So I started the thing of we're just going to do this. Yes. And then what we can do with this is we can start walking around, letting him get into something. And he can start sniffing things. And instead of telling him to come, I'm going to do like you were doing, where I'm just going to do a little bit of this leash stuff. And I'm not going to reward him every time. But then every once in a while, I'll go, Dudley, yes. Because what we'll get is we'll eventually get to the point where, like I said, he's going to start going like, yeah, but they've got all the stuff I like. Dudley. You see? I see you. Yes. Good. Good. Yeah. So nothing crazy. And the other thing here that's a little bit different is there's still like 100 dogs over there. And there's all the smells over here, and the wind's blowing real good, and we got birds and everything out around here. So this is much easier to do like in your backyard a little bit first. And you can even do this in the house, just sitting on the couch. We can just sit here like, yes. Now I'm not gonna let him have this until I want him to have it, but I'm not gonna pull it away from him because it can make him start chasing it. Because this is where we can, yes. So what I was gonna say is we can make this a game too, where I can start teaching him that looking at my face, because what we really want too is we want them to make eye contact with us, but not as a trick. I want him to make eye contact so he can read my face, because dogs they'll pay attention to what you're looking at. They'll see where your eyes are looking, and it can make them start looking at stuff. So like with him, I can make this a game of, there's a treat here, but you can't get it. And then if you watch him here, he's gonna start trying stuff. So he's gonna try it from here. Now he's gonna paw at it. He's gonna try to chew at it, but I'm not letting him have it. And then what I'm gonna wait for is when he finally sits back and looks at me like, can I have that? And then I can go, yeah, that was great. I like the fact that you looked at me. That was cool. And maybe if he's almost did it. Yes. And I'm doing the thing again where I'm letting him, he's biting off like maybe a quarter of it. The other positive side of doing it like this too is because it's making it a game and he's having to think about it, this lets him use his mind a bunch. So this becomes like a puzzle for him. And he's gonna try to figure out what gets him the treat if he really likes the treat. Now he's starting to get bored, so I'm gonna say his name. Dudley. Dudley. Yes. Now, like, something that might be happening right here too is the fact that a lot of guys that are a little bit anxious, a little bit, got a little extra pent up energy, they're kind of like a little kid. They got ADHD. So we can't do this for very long before he's gonna get bored. And he'll be like, well, I'll find something else to do. So we've done a little bit of this, not a whole lot, but main things are, we want to start working on a good marker word, a yes, a good, whatever it is. You just pick something, but make sure that what that's used for is every time he does one of, let's say, 3 things. If he looks at me when I say his name, treat. If he comes to me when I call him, treat. Or if I'm playing the game with him, Good boy, that was good. But if I'm playing the game with him where I'm gonna let him try to figure out how to get the treat from me, then if he makes eye contact with me, then I'm gonna mark and I'm gonna give him the treat. But we gotta make sure that we use that word correctly. It has to be when he does the thing we want. He looks at us because we said his name, or he comes to us when we say C-O-M-E. And then you just work it a little bit. And like I said, these things are great. It would work fine for him. You could even do something like, if you wanted, you could take a little lanyard thing on here to make a loop to go on your wrist if you were worried that you might drop it or something. And you can get these at PetSmart, this exact one, and they're great. But you can use a long line too. You can do the same thing on his little 6-foot purple leash that you got. I was using this just so I could get a little more distance with him and stuff. But like you can see now too, is he's not wanting to sniff anymore. So this did exercise his brain a bit, which is gonna help with some of the other stuff that's going on, because some of what's probably happening when he gets out and he's sniffing around is he's trying to release any kind of energy he's got built up, which is usually physical is one thing, mental is another thing. He may be sniffing because he's a little worked up and he's a little anxious, and he just wants something to do. So he's going out and he's trying to exercise his mind a little bit by searching things out and sniffing what this is and what's that and what's this other thing. But you work him just a little bit, give him a little something for his brain to do, and that sniffing slows down and he starts being a little more normal like this. And then we can start the normal stuff of just working with him. And good boy. Now it's much easier too for me to just, petting is going to be the reward, and I can not use treats for a little bit because he's calmer now. So we don't need a reward that's so high value as we did earlier when he was a little worked up. So now that he's a little calmer, I can do things of, I'll do something with him like this and I'll pet him. Yes. And then when he looks at me in the face like that, then I can tell him he's a good boy and I'll pet him. And that'll be the reward instead of the treat. Yes. Yes, yes, I know. You're a Dudley butt. You're real cute Dudley. He's Dudley. And don't, the other thing is like stuff like this, people don't realize how much this kind of thing, how much effect this has on your relationship with your pup too. Because this is the kind of stuff he wants to snuggle and things, and if I do it in a way where it's like we're both into it and he likes it and I like it and he's having a good time just being with me like this goes a long way in everything else too, because this makes me more valuable in his mind. He likes being around me, and if he likes being around me, he's more likely to stay near me when we walk around. He's also more likely to listen to me and stuff. So don't let this stuff slide either, of just hanging out with him in the house or something, and just having him sitting in your lap and rubbing on him and telling him he's a good boy when he looks you in the face. Yes, he's such a good boy. But this kind of stuff is a great one too. Yes, I know. You're so sweet. He's such a sweet little guy. Yes, yes. Oh, he's so sweet. What you doing? Oh, yay. Yeah. All right, you getting hot? Alrighty. So yeah, no biggie. I'll send this to you. Take a look at it and stuff, and you got my number. So if you got any questions, even if it's this weekend, hopefully I'll have this to you, and it'll be Friday afternoon. I'll get it to you. But yeah, just take a look at it. Give it a shot. If you have any questions on it, I can even grab my guy and I can go over a couple things and kind of give you a little breakdown if you need a few extra pointers on things. But this is basically just practicing this kind of stuff. Like you see him now. Dudley. Yes, good boy. You're a good boy. And we can just walk around. Yes, good boy. Yeah, good boy. Dudley, come. Yes, oh, good boy. This is how you can do it without treats. Same thing. And don't worry about if people think you're being weird in the yard with your dog or doing something like that. That's not for you. Good boy. Because it's about you and him. Who cares what everybody else thinks? Besides, if you want to see what looks weird is watching me with a 120-pound Cane Corso in my backyard doing this exact thing with him and treating him like he's a baby. That'll make you feel like this isn't so weird if you do it with him. So, but yeah, just take a look. Let me know if you got any questions. You ready, buddy? Come on, Dud. We'll go back. Yeah, let's go on back.